unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder destroys Tyson Fury for his upcoming next fight pick and opponent. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Now, Deontay Wilder, he spoke on, the latest report from ESPN, the network that Tyson Fury fights on, as far as the U.S. broadcaster, and they reported that Tyson Fury's next fight is going to be against Sweden's Otto Wallin. Wilder gave his thoughts on Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin, and he says, quote, Tyson Fury, he keeps pulling out all of these night shift graveyard workers, bullshit at its best. No Englishman is coming over here saving America with Tom Schwartz and Otto, whoever he is, talking about he's the best with an invisible belt. Ether, listen, almost thought you would come with the ether. Deontay Wilder is living his best life, and he's winning. He just did commentary for the Adam, as he called it, Adam Baunacki. What's up, blood? Adam Baunacki versus Chris Arreola, which was a fun fight, set a CompuBox record. So he looked like he enjoyed that. Him and Lennox Lewis made a good team, and he's getting a lot of respect. He's getting a lot of respect amongst fans, things like that, and he's getting more notoriety and recognition. Meanwhile, you have an American company like ESPN who they're almost babysitting Tyson Fury's schedule. I've said this in my live stream and in past videos beforehand, but new media just keeps winning. I do not believe Tyson Fury when he says he's confident that he destroyed Wilder when they fought and won 10 rounds to 2. Because if you really believe that in your heart of all hearts, you and your team believe that you dominated Wilder like you say you had, then there is no excuse, Mr. 10 rounds to 2, to fight Tom Schwartz, who's never fought outside of Germany. And you can say he's undefeated. Yeah, it's easy to be undefeated when you haven't fought outside of your domestic region. And then to come back and fight Otto Wallin, despite the fact that ESPN said that they wanted an American opponent and, a more, apt name for Tyson Fury. So I call bullshit on that. This is not the actions of a team that believes they destroyed Wilder and, won the fight easy like Tyson Fury is making it out to be. Because, again, name something like 10 rounds to 2. That's a landslide. In a 12-round fight, that's a landslide. That means you dominated. So if they were that confident, they being Top Rank, ESPN, Frank Warren, and Team Tyson Fury, then there's no excuse for this. And, old media, they try their best. They say Tyson Fury is the #1 heavyweight after Joshua left. But these things don't support their claims, because again, if Tyson Fury, if you really believe in your heart of all hearts he dominated Wilder and he destroyed him, then explain Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin. Wilder is 1000% correct, to call out Tyson Fury. And it's really unfair, and this is what they do to black fighters constantly. It's unfair that Deontay Wilder was willing to do an immediate rematch to set the record straight. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury fled, ran to ESPN and Top Rank, signed this new deal, which is cool. But if ESPN and Top Rank, you got to ask yourself, if they're willing to work with Wilder in 2020, then why couldn't they have done the immediate rematch and just been under the Frank Warren / Top Rank banner, and just had it broadcast through ESPN? So if they're willing to do it in 2020, why weren't they willing to do it in 2019? Because they feared Wilder, because they were not ready for Wilder, because they wanted to give the fighter with the fair pigment, Tyson Fury, with the complexion for the protection, every type of angle, every type of chance to recover, to redeem his self-esteem, to redeem his confidence, and to put up the best potential fight in a rematch. Basically, learn from your mistakes, get in the best shape you can, take soft touch fights that nobody wants to see in an effort to give you the best shot against this massive puncher named Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Again, if you disagree with my sentiments, then explain how they're willing to work together in 2020, but they couldn't have put an immediate rematch and just moved the date, because they already had a location, Barclays Center. Why didn't we see a joint ESPN, Showtime, or Fox immediate rematch? Because they didn't want the immediate rematch. And it's evident by Tyson Fury's choice of opponents. He's fighting guys that no one even heard of, especially in America, and Top Rank and Frank Warren and Team Fury have the audacity to try to pitch this to American audiences. And to add insult to injury, Top Rank came out and said that they are making the Wilder Fury 2 fight bigger. So, let's see. Let's check this out. Wilder Fury fought in December. It was thrilling. You mess up the momentum and break up immediate rematch negotiations to prolong the fight, and you claim you want to build the fight and make it more exciting, or make it do more homes. So instead of doing an immediate rematch while it's fresh on everybody's mind, you want to allow these other fights to come in and be great. Hooker Ramirez, Pacquiao Thurman, Spence versus Porter, things like that. And then Wilder versus Ortiz. You want to allow these other performances in between. And then meanwhile, Tyson Fury is fighting the weakest of competition, unheralded, unknown guys, untested guys. And you claim this is in an effort to make Wilder Fury 2 do more homes. That's not the case. That ain't it, Chief. Because if you wanted to make it do more homes, you would put Tyson Fury in meaningful fights that people can respect and get behind, and a lot of eyes are going to see and want to see because there's such a good matchup. Like for me, Deontay Wilder, he's in a league of his own. He is the man at heavyweight, and it's just really based on his actions. He followed through with the Joshua. He said he was going to smoke him out. He did just that, and ultimately Joshua had nowhere to go, picked everyone else but Wilder. And Gerald Miller fight fell apart, and then he ends up getting stopped in America for less than $50 million. So once that was taken care of, and he seen that Joshua Ruiz had unfinished business, he kept about his business. Wilder was pursuant to the immediate rematch with Tyson Fury. It was Tyson Fury and his team that pulled him back. Listen, facts speak for itself. Tyson Fury's team is on record saying that there were family members who told Tyson Fury don't fight Wilder. I believe it was Tyson Fury's own wife, Paris, that says, oh man, you're going to get killed. That's some Rocky Balboa shit. You can't win. Remember when, hey, Adrian, what do you mean? It's just Drago. I can win. I can beat Apollo Creed. That's some Rocky shit. You can't. Remember when Adrian said that? She said, you can't win. No confidence. That's Tyson Fury's wife did the same thing. She said, this is crazy. What are you fighting? I don't want to see him fight. And then I think she said post-fight, I thought he was dead or something in the 12th round. So it's very clear that Tyson Fury and his team and Ben Davison and whoever else, they could say whatever they want, but nobody believes it. And it's all, you can say what you want, but actions speak louder than words. These actions, the matchmaking that they are doing for Tyson Fury is literally fighting competition, and scaling back and regressing, fighting competition as if he came off of a knockout loss. This is not the indication of a fully confident, ready for the world, I'm the number one heavyweight and I'm here to prove it. That this isn't the actions, because you look at the contrary. Let's say Errol Spence, talk to the man. He's confident. He said he's the best at welterweight. End of story. He believes he beats all the guys at welterweight. Look at his actions. Since he fought Kell Brook, he fought Lamont Peterson, a sturdy veteran. He took care of his mandatory. Then he fought Mikey Garcia because Mikey Garcia kept calling him out, an undefeated fighter. And now he's about to fight Sean Porter, in a unification. And Sean Porter, is amped up and never been stopped, stuff like that. See the difference in confidence level? Errol Spence is about what he says he's about. He's saying, I feel I'm the best. I don't care what nobody's talking about. And he's willing to prove it. Tyson Fury isn't. Tyson Fury keeps saying, oh, I'm the Gypsy King and the no mortals on my level, and I beat his ass, Wilder's ass, 10 rounds to 2. But his actions and the opponents him and his team are choosing contradict those statements. Because again, that's not how you move if you're confident. If you're coming off the best wins of your career, you know, why would you have to regress and fight guys who, between Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin, between the two of them and all the fights that they had, only one of them had fought in America, and is Otto Wallin, and he had fought in America one time. So you're fighting in America with guys who've never fought in America. That in itself lets you know everything you need to know. Because why are you fighting in America? Fight Otto Wallin in Sweden or some shit. Take that shit over there. Why would you fight him in a market he's never even been to? You know, that just shows the inexperience that they're picking from. You would rather fight a guy who's never fought here before. It's not a mandatory, you know, you're just choosing to fight him out of all the names. You're choosing to fight a guy who has never fought in America. You have to understand, sometimes fighting America, you look at Joshua. Joshua, first time fighting America was his worst night, you know, as a professional. He got destroyed by Andy Ruiz. So you have to deal with the pressure of fighting somewhere that, you know, oh shit, this is America. This is what you see in Hollywood. This is what you see on the movies, you know, so that alone can be a lot for people. Look at how Anthony Joshua walked out to the Andy Ruiz fight. He looked spooked. He looked shook. He was playing with his gum shield. He looked like this is like the different feeling. Every time Joshua walked out in the UK, I never seen him look like that. You know, because he was at home. He was at a comfort zone. So you got to understand that the boxing game is mental. You got a guy like Otto Wallin. He fought in America one time, and it was on a low-level fight. Now he's fighting a bigger name like Tyson Fury, and a bigger guy, right? Physical stature-wise. And you have to curb your emotions. You also have to acclimate and, you know, make sure your team's in order, and they can facilitate things and get to America with plenty of time to acclimate and adjust to the climate and the time zone different, you know, just these different nuanced things. So they're purposely picking people, and they're trying to bank off the fact that their record is undefeated, but they haven't fought anyone of note. You could look through Otto Wallin and Tom Schwartz's resume, and you won't recognize any name that's an active, relevant threat and name known person on their whole resume, and it's evident. So miss me with the bullshit. Wilder is entirely right with his statements. Tyson Fury, he's fighting night shift graveyard workers, and meanwhile talking shit and saying like, oh yo, I beat Wilder, Wilder's no match, and everyone, AJ, Dillian White, Wilder, everybody's bums. Andy Ruiz is a bum. You know, I think people are over it. And then ESPN as a company, they keep promoting this. And, you know, we've already heard the drugs and the backstory, the obesity, mental health. It's just played out. You're not going to keep being able to sell fights that nobody asked for, and then using this, I guess, Lifetime movie backstory to try to sell it, you know. So good luck with Tyson Fury, Otto Wallin. Not really interested. And beyond all of this, I don't see how that even prepares you for a fighter like Deontay Wilder. To me, I feel like you should want to. I'm not saying you can never have a light touch opponent, you know, maybe after a tough fight, but this is just getting ridiculous. Tyson Fury, outside of Klitschko and Wilder, who has he really even fought? You know, he fought Steve Cunningham, a cruiserweight, right? He fought recently Francisco Pianeta, Safari, Tom Schwartz, and now Otto Wallin. You know, this is just not no stellar resume. And old media, it's the same people on old media who have the audacity to criticize Deontay Wilder's resume. Say, oh, 40 fights, 40 bums. You know, criticize Gervonta Tank Davis, conveniently black fighters. You know, they criticize, oh, why is Tank fighting his mandatory Nunes? Why is Wilder fighting his mandatory Dominic Brazil? But then have no words. They don't have shit to say to Tyson Fury for fighting people we've never even heard of. that aren't any mandatory. That's why that lineal championship is all bullshit, because Tyson Fury has no rules to abide by. He doesn't have to fight top 5, top 10, top 15 guys. He doesn't have mandatories. He just keeps screaming, I'm lineal champ, I'm lineal champ. And it's really, he sounded like one of them old heads from the block that used to sell drugs in the late 80s and the early 90s, and they had the Audi and they had the Benzes and the Beamers, and then they end up catching a case and going away. And when it was all said and done, when they finally got out of prison in mid 2000s, they had nothing, you know. And they went back to living with their family. They have no cars, they have no jewelry. Other people done took over the streets, and you know, they no longer serve because they're in fear of going back to jail. You know, this is what Tyson Fury sounded like. One of them like OG, man, back in the day, man, we had the block lit. You know, you keep talking about his best win, which was Klitschko, because he didn't beat Wilder. You can say he beat him, but he didn't. You know, it's a draw. So his best win was in 2015, the year Mayweather fought Pacquiao. A lot's changed since then. So we're not going to forget about your win, but it's like it's time for probably another stringent test and a good name win. When was his last big name win? Klitschko in 2015. You know, Safiri, Otto Wallin, Tom Schwartz. Come on, these guys aren't world beaters. You know, so Wilder's completely correct. And man, new media is just slaughtering old media these days, because you guys know what I'm saying is true. And again, I think it robs the fighters. Tyson Fury should be gearing up for another potential tough fight with Wilder, a guy who stretched you in 2 rounds, you know, and preparing with Otto Wallin and stuff. I don't see how that really helps your case. Versus Wilder, it's unfair because he's fighting his mandatory Dominic Brazil, an Olympian, 6'7", who hated him because they had a altercation in the hotel involving people's families. You know, so that was a dangerous fight, just because you never know a man that, you know, a man possessed by trying to save face and impress his wife and family and get retaliation. You never know what that person got, you know, up their sleeve. And then now fighting Luis Ortiz. Meanwhile, you have Tyson Fury, who could just pick and choose guys, random names out of a hat, like Wilder said, graveyard shift night workers. We unpack. Let me know what you guys think. We work.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.